Hello everyone, Fully Back here now with you once again. This is going to be a video to Hayes or Heisenberg, formerly Godless Hayes. Now, for those who don't remember, me and him used to have a bit of a back and forth. We used to make more atheist videos. Now he's turned into more anti-SJW feminists. Again, I hate the term SJW, but we'll get into that another day. However, he's made a video to Coughlin about a couple of videos that Coughlin made. Now, full disclosure, I agree with more or less everything Coughlin has to say. Not all about Milo Yiannopoulos, but about how people have always been offended by his shit. But however, we'll let Godless Hayes talk about stuff, and we'll respond. Okay, take it away, Hayes.
Recently, and I think Noel Plum mentioned this to you because I seen he did a response to this as well. But I gotta talk about this too because it is so goddamn dumb. This thing with the Walking Dead shirt that got pulled because it was racist, and the shirt it said "eenie, meany, miny, mo," and that's racist. Fucking dumb. There isn't anything else to say to this. There is no argument.
Actually, Hayes and hello Jim, if you're watching this, there is an argument to be made, and the argument is in its original English version, which is where this, if you look at the article, it's been banned from. It in the UK, that particular rhyme does have a racist slur in it. The whole version. Now, I know people can say, "Oh, Gary's lying. Gary's triggered, or Gary's an SJW." No, I've actually got proof of this. Now, for those who don't know, what Top Gear is, it's a car program that was happening for many years, and one of the people who used to present it was the name of Jeremy Clarkson. Now, Jeremy Clarkson got in trouble, I believe it was around 2010, 2009, right about that period, when he used eenie, miny, mo, and he used the N-word, ending in the hard ER, because that's part of the original poem. Now, to say, oh, well, it's stupid, well, here's the thing. It isn't. And to prove my point, could take away Jeremy Clarkson.
Ordinarily, I don't respond to newspaper allegations, but on this occasion, I feel I must make an exception. A couple of years ago, I recorded an item for Top Gear in which I quoted the rhyme eenie, meeny, miny, mo. Now, of course, I was well aware that in the best-known version of this rhyme, there is a racist expression that I was extremely keen to avoid. The full rushes show that I did 3 takes. In 2, I mumbled where the offensive word would normally occur, and in the 3rd, I replaced it altogether with the word teacher. Now, when I viewed this footage several weeks later, I realised that in one of the mumbled versions, if you listen very carefully with the sound turned right up, it did appear that I'd actually used the word I was trying to obscure. I was mortified by this, horrified. It is a word I loathe, and I did everything in my power to make sure that that version did not appear in the programme that was transmitted. In fact, I have here the note I sent at the time to the production office, and it says, I didn't use the N-word here, but I've just listened through my headphones and it sounds like I did.
That needs to be presented. This is just retarded. Absolutely and utterly willful retarded. Whoever wrote that complaint either had to have been trolling or is legitimately fucking stupid. It's pathetic. And hell, I'm going to order that shirt just on principle. And 2, I like the show. I'm a fan of The Walking Dead. As you might know from the little avatar, those of you that have been watching my recent videos, I'm a fan of the Negan character.
By the way, I totally agree. I mean, I have nothing against the t-shirt. Again, the point being that he does have that background in the English version. But I don't think that should stop the t-shirt from being sold over here, because in that context, it wasn't racist. It's about a badass character, well, evil character, obviously, in the game, choosing his next victim has no, racist connotations at all, and I don't think one could drive for it. So on that, we 100% agree, and I actually might order it myself. But again, we can't deny that racist past is there, though.
So then, occasionally feel the need to mock it. But since she's on a certain spectrum, she will have her audience. And now we have this weird kind of left versus right thing, and a lot of people will subscribe to it one way or another, and they will stick with their political ideology, even if the values of it are completely wrong and dumb, and refuse to change it because you don't want to be labeled a lefty or a righty. Now, and not too long back in one of my videos, of course lately I pretty much rip on social justice and what feminism has become now, because it's essentially become a joke. I do that shit fairly regularly because I don't respect the ideas and they're dumb, but I also don't respect the idiotic bullshit that can occasionally come from the right. In one of my videos I kind of mentioned this. I got a comment from somebody who said, in this video you sat back and you had to sit around and slam on the right. Is that your white guilt talking? So it was just so fucking ridiculous. It was just some dumbass ideologue on the other side because I didn't kiss ass to his side. You know, because occasionally they do dumb shit, but right for the last few years, ever since Atheism Plus, infested its nonsense into the atheism community, then migrated to gaming and all this shit, it seems that, to me, the social justice aspect is far worse than anything, and it gives me the motivation to rip on it because, again, fucking stupid. I mean, this whole idea that the eenie, meany, miny, mo shirt is racist is exactly that. Fucking dumb.
Again, it isn't dumb. It's trying to have a conversation about... there is sensitivity about it. Now, this banning crap doesn't impress me, frankly. We should at least have a conversation about it. Just like we should have a conversation about... I think it was Deus Ex, Mankind Divided, where it's like using the word... I think it's mechanical apartheid. I'm not saying that we shouldn't use it. I'm saying that we should be very careful when we do. And that's my position. I think that's the position of most people on the left. This person just obviously doesn't understand how actual liberalism and freedom actually works. So I actually agree with you.
We're talking about the term virtue signaling and how it's overused and kind of a stupid-ass term, but you said something in there that kind of stuck out to me.
Which, for a side that complains all the time that people just throw words around, or you're just throwing sexist and racist and bigot around, maybe you want to check your own fucking... the words you throw around. I don't know.
I'm really not sure what you meant by that. If it's kind of like, well, yeah, sure, I guess my side says and calls everyone and everything racist, sexist, misogynist, homophobic, transphobic at every single turn, but you guys say virtue signaling a lot. Is that the point? And I mean, are we really going to compare those? And I mean,
well, yes, that's the term. It's not just virtue signaling, but like stuff like SJW, how it's used against anybody with any sort of like leftist agenda, or oh, God help us, a feminist. Like, I'm a feminist, and I get accused of being an SJW when I'm not. I hate SJWs because they bastardize the term feminism. And again, what is virtue signaling? It has no actual definition. I got into an argument today with somebody who accused me of a film reviewer of virtue signaling because he pointed out that he grew up in a multi-ethnic environment and as such didn't know what or understand racism. Apparently that's virtue signaling now. So somebody pointed out that their background doesn't involve hatred or fear. Is virtue signaling? What the hell? And that's the point. It has no workable definition. Virtue signaling is rubbish. Let's point it out as what it is. Somebody accuses anybody of being an SJW or virtue signaling when that person does not accept those labels themselves is being an idiot.
I'll not just say virtue signaling, but I guess if we're going to put things in sides, one thing that the other side, or I guess maybe you want to say my side, I wouldn't say me, I think I've used this term less than 10 times in all of my videos, is the term cuck. That's one that I'm seeing fucking people go out there and just go cuckity cuck, 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 cuck. They love that fucking word. So we'll just say that I guess my side, if we're going to go with that style of argument, says virtue signaling and cuck a lot. Okay, but those words, they're, in the grand scheme of things, aren't they kind of meaningless? I mean,
yeah, but doesn't mean they're any less stupid or hurtful than people throwing around terms that actually have meaning. Because again, you're trying to mean the person, you say, oh, this person's doing this for this. It's like, no, the guy's being honest with you. The thing is that this is the problem that we have on the internet. We demolish other people's arguments into a soundbite or into a particular word. We don't actually try to involve them in the actual conversation and treat them like an actual individual. Because no, they have to be a cult caller. They know they have to be an SJW. Or no, they have to be visited. Or if you want the other right, and again, I say this as a liberal myself, when people call people from the outright, oh, you're a fascist, or you're a racist, or you're a xenophobe, or you're a sexist, you're a transphobe, that doesn't address their arguments. So both sides are guilty of this haze. And that's the point, is that, like, we should stop with the fucking rhetoric and actually interact with each other like human beings.
Aren't they really just kind of esoteric to this whole internet thing? Because I don't think anyone outside of the internet is going to have a fucking clue if I go up to them and say, hey, that guy over there is virtue signaling. They're going to look at me and go, what the fuck is virtue signaling? What does that mean? And if I say cuck, it's going to be the same reaction.
No, because cuck actually is short for cuckold, which is actually a sexual term which has to do with the fact that you like to see your lady friend have sex with other men. It's a sexual term. So most people do know what it means. Well, especially nowadays where sexuality is so open and honest.
But if I say, hey, that guy over there is racist, they're going to know what racism means, but they might look at me and go, huh? How so? Well, look at his eenie, meany, miny, mo t-shirt. And then they're going to look at me like I'm fucking retarded, as well they should, if I was retarded, and that's what I said. But that's kind of the point. And oddly enough, because I've seen this happen constantly, and a prime example would be Steve Shives, and I could tie this in with Milo. He, in one of his more recent videos, I think I probably responded to it, and I respond to a lot of shit that dumb fuck does, he's useless, but point aside, he said something about, and racist something, but it was racist Milo Yiannopoulos. And I think even in your videos, Coughlin, you mentioned he's a racist too. I would like you or anyone to answer this. How? I mean, there's plenty of legitimate criticisms that people...
He made a article about the most recent Ghostbusters, didn't like it, piece of shit, where he criticised the actress and comedian Leslie Jones and said she had particular black stylings. Now, again, I particularly don't... I would also like to explain what does that mean. What does that mean? Is that exactly... again, like, how is she being black? How? Why is she not just being like a sassy woman? Again, how? How is she... how is that black? How is that particular a black thing? How? And that's what he said. Again, like, if he clearly said that, says, oh, I meant that she was acting like this particular stereotype or whatever. If he explained himself, that'd be fine. But he didn't. He let it build and he didn't stop any of the people who were saying the outright ugly racist stuff to her. When you cultivate that, you have some responsibility.
People can levy at Milo, especially now, and some of that dumb shit that he did say that's getting out there that people are pointing out. But racist? I've not heard that dude say anything remotely racist. I mean, unless we're going to sit back and try to say, oh, well, he doesn't like Islam, so he's racist against Muslims. It's that fucking nonsense. But I've never heard him say, you know what, I'm a white supremacist, another baseless accusation thrown out there. Or, I hate niggers. Haven't heard him say anything of the sort. If anything, he talks about sucking black dudes' dicks, which doesn't seem to be particularly a racist thing to do, or something that you would see a KKK guy doing. But somehow, he's just, Steve and many others are just going to say, racist, it's a racist.
Look, as I pointed out, the racist stuff is a microcosm of the problems he has. Let's not talk about the transphobia. The transphobia buries the racist stuff by quite a moment. And, from him saying that women should be uncomfortable when trans women come into the term, from all of that bullshit, that people can legitimately point to and say, he is a transphobe. There is no argument against that. He is a transphobe. And also, he used a racist statement and didn't stop it when he started exploding around it. He saying, hey guys, let's stop it. I was just criticising her performance. I wasn't criticising her. But no, again, the thing is that people like that don't take responsibility for their own actions.
And, that word has meaning where I really wouldn't say that virtue signaling or cuck necessarily do. They're just fucking esoteric internet words that should be meaningless, but then now we can also add in racist, sexist, misogynist, transphobe, homophobe, any of the istrophobes, because motherfuckers like Shives and these fucking retard social justice assholes throw them out without...
Yiannopoulos is a transphobe, He is a transphobe. You listen to any channel he has, he keeps on saying, oh, well, you know, and women should be appalled if trans women come into their locker room. That's transphobic. They are women. They're psychologically, they're in every way apart from maybe physically, a woman. They're not interested in looking at their bits. They're interested in getting changed in the right to because that's who they are inside. He didn't get that. He is a transphobe. There is no argument against this. If a fucking Christian homophobic piece of shit said the same thing, you'd bury them in 2 seconds flat.
Because according to them, I'm a sexist, racist, homophobic, all that bullshit, and you were also a transphobe, according to these assholes, when you weren't. And I get up and said that was bullshit, as I have before, when people thrown bullshit accusations your way when they've been bullshit. Anyway, God, yeah, this is going to be a nice long ranting video. Fuck, there's so much to get here, and I'm responding to an old friend, so it's kind of fun. But anyway, there was one other thing you said, well, a couple other things you said I wanted to get into, so might as well keep this fucking train a-moving.
The guy's full of fucking shit. And so's anyone who's a fan of his. Or defends him in any way. You're full of shit too.
I could and have said pretty much that exact same thing about Steve Shives. And would do it again. The guy is the most vapid content maker on the planet. And even if he says something that is correct, and I agree with, I do not believe for a second he's going to mean it, because he's just basically this cookie-cutter generic asshole at this point who, talking about the term cuck being overused, which it absolutely is, but my God, if anybody deserves that fucking term, it is that guy to a T. Utterly useless. And I don't see how anyone can defend that asshole whatsoever. He's a cancer to the movement that he is a part of because of who he is and what he does. And maybe the same thing could be said about Milo. But even then, maybe at some point or another, Shives will say something that's correct. Hell, I've watched some of his older videos when I was taking a couple-year hiatus from YouTube. Then I get back and I hear these stories that the guy wasn't always the useless prick that he is today. And shit, he's made some older videos where he actually seemed to have points. Those days are long fucking gone. But I would say the same could be said about Milo regardless, especially...
I totally agree with you. Just because I disagree with what the guy says now doesn't mean he doesn't have good points. And you can actually show a clip that I actually totally agree with. But however, that is not what he is now. What he is now is a content jargon spewing, repugnant human being. That's what he is now. He's all about getting attention. He's not about creating some sort of utopian society and all that sort of stuff. What he is interested in now is about dividing people more. And that's what you do when you start to ridicule a certain segment, and say, oh, well, this particular group, this feminist group, they're bad. It's like, no. Again, I count myself as a feminist. I believe in female rights and all that sort of stuff. I'd like somebody to tell me why that is wrong. Why equal rights for somebody who is not me is wrong. I really would like somebody to discuss and tell me that.
When it comes to that term that he's a racist, because here I want to play a clip of Milo's, and I just want to let this sink in. Hear what he has to say here, and then I got a question.
Don't fight identity politics with identity politics. White pride, white nationalism, white supremacy isn't the way to go. The way to go is reminding them and yourselves that you should be aspiring to values and to ideas. You should be focusing on what unites people, not what drives them apart. And you shouldn't give a shit about skin color, you shouldn't give a shit about sexuality, you shouldn't give a shit about gender, and you should be deeply suspicious of the people who do.
My question is, how is anything that Milo said in the clip that I just played in any way wrong? That's really what I would like to know in that clip, because I think he's dead right on.
As I just said, I totally agree with what he said. I think that we should get beyond it. However, how are we going to get beyond it when he says stuff like he says against trans people? Isn't that... You're marginalising a specific group of people just because you think it's icky that they go into a certain bathroom that you don't think they should go into. No, that contradicts what he just said right then. Again, that's why he's wrong, because he contradicts himself. He doesn't have a consistent tone of let people, let's accept these people at their face value, that this is how they view themselves. This is who they are on the inside. Like, he's a gay man. At one point, people used to say that about gay men. And that's the point that probably infuriates me the most about him. Here's a person who's probably, had the most vicious, things said about his particular group in history. Yet he's willing to repeat those about another group that is currently okay to dislike. I find it abhorrent.
On that. And there's been quite a few things that he has said that I think he is dead right about. There's also a few things that he's said that he's been dead wrong about, like his dumbass opinion on abortion, his dumbass opinion about Catholicism, and some of the dumbass things he said recently about pedophilia that's kind of gotten him in the circumstance that he's in now. And that's going to lead me to the next clip that I want to play, which was after this whole pedophile thing came out. Coughlin, you made that second video about it, talking about it. And this clip's another one that stuck out to me, so here we go.
But here's the thing that I find interesting. First of all, the hypocrisy on those people. These people saying, well, what about when this happened with this celebrity and this happened with this celebrity? Well, yeah. Lots of other people have done lots of other horrific things. And funnily enough, when those people did them, like, say, Leonard Dunham, for example, you guys were right there, jumping up and down, screaming, getting upset and offended by it. But now it's like, but what about this? Your whataboutery can go eat a dick, okay? It's fuck off with your whataboutery. Have your own consistent positions. Don't sit there and go, but what about this? Because what about that? If you cared about the other all these other incidents that you claim to care about, then you should care about this one. But you like him, don't you?
I see where you're coming from with this. And I think that there is a valid point there, that there's definitely going to be the people that will defend Milo unquestionably while going after Lena Dunham. But didn't Lena Dunham actually admit to doing some shit while Milo never did do anything to anyone?
Yes, but Lena Dunham actually showed contrition, actually showed apologetics for the stupid shit she said and did. That's the problem that I have, is that contrition is no longer accepted anymore. It's like, oh no, you did this terrible thing that you admitted to, so you were always wrong. It's like, no, she admitted that she was wrong, and she phrased it badly, and she apologised. I consider myself, I'm not a Lena Dunham fan, I'm really not. I think Girls is overrated tosh, frankly, but hey, if you enjoy your overrated tosh. But again, I'm not going to dismiss somebody or think somebody's bad just because they said something stupid. It's the internet. We all said something and do something stupid on here.
So, there is a bit of a difference there. And looking at, let's just say, take Sarah Nyberg, for example, the one that Milo wrote one of the pieces on, who also, pretty much said some weird shit. I think at one point said, I used to think 5, 6, or 7 was too young, but this person changed my mind. That kind of excessively, massively creepy shit. And yeah, I think there is a bit of a difference there in what was said, but I understand the point. But also with that works both ways, because there are going to be the people that would have defended or completely ignored the Lena Dunhams.
To be clear, I think anybody who says dumb shit should get caught out on their dumb, stupid shit. Whether it's Lena Dunham, whether it's this person that he's currently talking about, whether it's Milo Yinnopoulos, whether it's whatever political stance you start off, you should call out fair shit if you're a fair-minded human being.
And Sarah Nyberg's, but now that it's Milo in the crosshairs, oh, let's go after him. It's terrible. Look at Salon. I know that they deleted this shit a while ago, but that fucking site had pretty much pro-pedophilia articles on there, as disgusting as that fucking shit is. And now it's, oh, Milo, pedophile, gross, huh? The hypocrisy on all of that, all those ends, is just disgusting.
Just for clarification, my opinion of Salad is exactly my opinion of Breitbart. They're both biased polemicist pieces that, frankly, I have no time or truck with.
And pathetic, ultimately. Because at the end of the day, pedophiles, you're fucking gross. You need some fucking help, at the very least. And if you've committed the act, you need to be incarcerated at the very fucking least. But whoever the fuck it is, just talking, the fact that I don't know, just thinking about this whole thing, it's just such a disgusting fucking topic. But and the way, and especially to see it get politicized on any angle. But I guess the point is in this one, that is one of those things that definitely, at very least, works both ways. Easily. And I mean, I guess in another thing of kind of hypocrisy I can link to this, and of course I'm going to have to bring up Steve Shives, is thinking about unseen perfidy. Now, Shives was a big proponent of, don't sexually harass women. He's against sexual harassment big time. Was real good Twitter buddies with Unseen Perfidy. Then Unseen Perfidy had his little, oh yeah, I'm the guy who's against sexually harassing people, but I'm doing it myself. And Steve Shives didn't utter a fucking word. Not one peep out of that motherfucker, from what I could tell, condemning Unseen Perfidy, because that was his buddy. So, yeah, that whole cliquish bullshit works all ways around, and it's definitely something that I could notice with people like Shives. And that,
for the record, I hated Unseen Perfidy. I thought he was a dick. I mean, I liked him at first, but then he turned on you whenever you said something that I don't know, got on his wick or whatever. He just made up lies again. He did it about me, he did it about Coffin, he did it about more or less any friend he had. So trust me, you're not going to get in defence of Riffrandell or that. And again, as far as I know, Steve did say something about it. I think it was in a hangout, but I may be mistaken about that. If someone was to say, "Oh, he never said anything anywhere," I'll take your word for it. But I heard that rumor.
Mentality, so kind of ridiculous. So I think I'm going to leave that there. Those were the primary things I wanted to address. I mean, I see the points, and I do want to make a response to somebody who now I kind of disagree with, but I also respect, which is kind of rare at this point. So I think that'll do it for the video. So if you made it this far, thanks for watching. And if you are here and you would like to help the channel out, I would possibly like to...
And we could see in the my video, by the way. If you've got a couple of books, go and give them to Hayes. If you want to subscribe, please do so. I think Hayes is a great guy. Yeah, we disagree on both things. I don't think we really disagreed here. I think that I just disagree with maybe some of his points, but I think most of all I agree with some of the things he said. But however, I'd like to say this. The problem is with identity politics, because people who are on this side are alt-right, and people on this side are the SJWs. It's like, where did we stop treating each other with individuals, with individual ideas? And that's the problem, to me. And this is the problem. Again, I'm not an SJW nor am I alt-right. I'm somebody who's very left. I mean, I'm a socialist, for God's sake. And I hate the term SJW, because it doesn't criticize anything that I believe, nor does it. Again, I believe in justice. I believe in social pressures, but I don't consider myself somebody who believes in social justice warriors, or even like the term. And I think the problem is that on both sides we see hypocrisy. We see the fact that Milo does this, but we'll forgive him. But again, if somebody else does that, oh, it's bad. It's like, they won't call Milo out on his transphobia. They won't call out, Tommy Lauren for some of the bad stuff she says, but as soon as, somebody on the left or somebody they disagree with says the similar thing, oh, no, that person's bad. And that's the problem that I have, Hayes, is that there's no holding each side accountable that I see here. And this happens a lot. It happens within religion, or politics, or whatever. You'll call the other side for the exact same, but you'll applaud behaviour if it happens in yours. I think that's something that we all need to overcome. Anyway, this has been Floyd B. Axley, Floyd Dreams, make it true.